Local, late breaking. This is Channel 2 Action News at noon. Coverage you can count on.
Happening now, a boil water advisory despite a fix for a broken water main that gushed for 3 days. We are following the problem that residents tell us still exists. Good afternoon, I'm Sophia Choi. That water main is now capped in DeKalb County, but some residents tell us they are still having major issues. This 48-inch main first started gushing at Henderson Mill and Evans Roads on Thursday. Channel 2's Rachel Stockman is there live. And Rachel, some people could see water pressure return to normal today.
Sophia, just in the last 15 minutes or so, I actually spoke with a member of a crew that worked on this, and he said this was in the worst possible location. You can still see the giant hole that needs to be fixed, but I am told the actual water main is fixed. But as you mentioned, we're still getting a lot of complaints about no water and lack of pressure.
This is the water situation. There is no water, absolutely no water. And you can't flush the toilets.
This neighbor called Channel 2 Action News after she couldn't get through to DeKalb County watershed. She says despite the water main being fixed, she still has no water.
My biggest problem is that we can't get through to them.
She is one of dozens of people who have contacted us with the same concerns. Overnight, DeKalb County Watershed says they finished up the repairs on the 48-inch water line on Henderson Mill Road and Evans Road. Here's what it looked like with the gushing water earlier this weekend.
It's definitely something that we're very on top of right now.
Just about an hour ago, I spoke with Emily Schwartz from the county.
We're just waiting for that pressure to come back up, and that might be what people are experiencing, especially when people check their faucets. That kind of slows the process.
I'm kind of ready for this to be over. I want my water back.
Again, the whole county still under a boil water advisory that will likely last until tomorrow. And of course, everyone wants to know when the water pressure will get better and when they will get water back. We are told by the county it should be back to normal in a couple of hours. In DeKalb County, Rachel Stockman, Channel 2 Action News.
Rachel, thank you. Developing this noon, police are looking for leads in a deadly shooting that left one man dead and sent a woman to the hospital. Channel 2 Steve Gelbach is live in Southeast Atlanta. And Steve, you talked to a neighbor who actually heard the shots.
About 20 of them, Sophia, and so far there have been no arrests. We know that there was one man killed outside this biker clubhouse. He's been identified as 44-year-old Lloyd Swain Jr. of Fayetteville. There was also another woman shot outside in this parking lot, and there may have been a third victim. Bullets went flying around 2 Sunday morning between the Driftwood Sports Bar on Moreland Avenue and the clubhouse of the Strikers Motorcycle Club next door.
There was some crossfire between bars.
Yeah. Atlanta police collected evidence at the huge scene well into the morning. They found shell casings both outside the bar and at the biker hangout.
It's apparent that there was some sort of a dispute. What the dispute was about, we are unclear of at this time.
A neighbor who lives right behind here told me she heard about 20 shots overnight but did not want to go on camera. Now, there have been other shootings, other problems here at the sports bar, but everyone I talked to says they've never had a problem with anyone at the motorcycle club. They stay to themselves up there, and there's never been an issue with the two groups fighting between each other. None of the motorcycle club members would talk to us about the victim, Lloyd Swain Jr. He was outside the clubhouse when he was shot, taken to Grady Medical Center where he later died. The second victim was in the parking lot of the sports bar. She was taken to the hospital in critical condition.
She was self-transported by a friend to Atlanta Medical Center in a personal vehicle.
Police are also checking with another man who showed up at the hospital with a gunshot wound. They want to talk to him to find out if he was involved in the shootout, and they're still trying to sort out who was shooting at who and why. Investigators check for possible surveillance video here to see if those cameras captured any of that shooting outside, but I learned that all the outside cameras at least were not working. Live in Southeast Atlanta, Steve Gelbach, Channel 2 Action News.
Steve, thank you. In less than 2 hours, family and friends will say goodbye to the local Marine killed in the Chattanooga military shootings. The community came together last night for Lance Corporal Skip Wells' visitation in Kennesaw. His funeral procession is at 1 p.m. today. There will be a rolling lane closure along I-575 and other roads in Cobb and Cherokee counties. The funeral is at 2 p.m. at First Baptist Church of Woodstock. And we will have continuing coverage of how Metro Atlanta is remembering Lance Corporal Skip Wells. At WSBTV.com, we have raw video of the convoy escorting Wells's body. Watch Channel 2 Action News at 6 for coverage of today's funeral services. Follow us on Facebook and on Twitter for updates in the military shootings investigation. Developing this noon, the investigation into a deadly fall at a downtown Atlanta apartment building. Atlanta police could be seen outside the Crosby Spear Memorial Towers around 10 this morning. A woman fell from the 6th floor of the building on North Avenue. Police are not certain what caused her to fall. New at noon, Atlanta police need your help finding a missing woman. Medea Gibson has been missing since July 19th. She was last seen wearing black and white checkered suit at the 10 a.m. service at the Salvation Army Church on Metropolitan Parkway. Call 911 if you have any information. Victims in the Louisiana movie theater shooting are being remembered this Sunday. Church services are planned across Louisiana to honor Jillian Johnson and Macy Bro. The two were killed and 9 others were hurt in Thursday's shooting at a Lafayette, Louisiana theater. Police say gunman John Rusty Hauser's rampage was premeditated.
This was a planned event, first of all. Secondly, based off of how the vehicle was parked, we believe that, yes, he was going to try to leave the theater.
Investigators have not released a motive for the shooting. Channel 2 Action News investigated John Hauser's extensive ties to Georgia. Hauser once lived in Carroll County. That is where family members sought a protection order against him in 2008. They described him as a danger to himself and others. Police in LaGrange arrested him in 2000 when he owned a bar. He was charged with selling alcohol to minors. Hauser's brother told Channel 2 Action News that his family is praying for the shooting victims. Happening now, the weekend road work to improve Metro Atlanta highways. This construction zone on I-285 at Hollowell Parkway is causing some delays. The southbound lanes, as you see there, are on the right. Crews are also restriping the downtown connector from Abernathy Boulevard to 17th Street. 3 eastbound lanes of I-20 from Langhorne to McDaniel are closed until Monday. Check WSBTV.com for any traffic delays.
We have sunshine right now over Midtown, but a chance of storms moving in very late today. I'm back to time that all out for you. Plus, today's afternoon high temperatures next.
New sightings of a wild animal, the mystery that's now creating an uproar in one community. Plus,
it just scared me so bad, and I could have been dead.
A local woman says a man forced his way into her home. Why police believe he could be tied to other crimes in our area. Police say a man targeted a local community and forced his way into 5 homes just minutes apart. DeKalb County Police arrested a man near Circle Stone Drive Saturday afternoon. Ernestine Nunn says the robber forced his way into her home and demanded keys to a car that wasn't hers.
I did not know what this man was going to do to me. I didn't know whether he was going to hit me or shoot me or what he was going to do.
DeKalb County police sources tell us the man arrested has a criminal history that includes burglary. Coweta County deputies identified persons of interest in the suspicious death of a baby. Deputies found the child's body while carrying out a search warrant on Smoky Road Saturday. Investigators say the baby was about 2 months old. They say they are now following leads. This noon, the air conditioning is now working in a high-rise retirement home. Friendship Tower sent us these pictures showing crews installing new AC units. We've covered protests and complaints by residents for weeks now. A judge ordered the church, which owns the property, to take action after some said it took too long for repairs. We've learned well-known philanthropist and Dr. Bobby Bailey died last night. Dr. Bailey's niece posted the death notice on Facebook. This is video from an interview with former Channel 2 anchor Monica Pearson in 2008. Bailey was the founder of the Georgia Music Hall of Fame. Homes surrounded by water, the flood threat, and why officials say this city could not handle the rainfall.
And a little bit of rainfall in our forecast today, but not very much. Coming up on pinpointing when and where the best chance of storms is today and looking ahead to the rain chances for this week.
A developing weather story. Severe flooding is a major threat this weekend across parts of the country. Soaked furniture is on cinder blocks in Trinity, Florida. Fish are now following a stream to this little flooded road. About 20 people got stuck as water surrounded their homes. Officials say the pumps and drains are working but could not handle the rainfall. Well, here in Metro Atlanta, temperatures are hitting the low 90s today. Meteorologist Brian Monahan is tracking your forecast in Severe Weather Center 2.
Yeah, that big system down across Florida really keeping a lot of the moisture away from North Georgia. Just limited rain chances for us today. And we've got the heat. We've got haze, too, over Midtown and downtown. This afternoon, we track temperatures from the mid to low 70s this morning. morning. Starting at 6 for you right now, it's 85 degrees. Feels like 87 when you factor in the humidity. The wind is really light. Not much ventilation out there. It's kind of sticky. It's kind of muggy out there early this afternoon. Already at 88 right now in Athens, but Eatonton, you've crossed the 90-degree mark. Also around LaGrange at 90. 87 in Carrollton, just about 90 in Roman. We're sitting at 82 degrees in Blairsville. Now, since we first joined you about 15 minutes ago, a little batch of showers trying to pop up. Really our first ones of the day, a little west of Somerville. So in Chattooga County, most of this out across the state line across Alabama. But we'll watch a few more showers and storms develop later on today. So let's get right to it. Here's our forecast model starting at 1 o'clock this afternoon. So 45 minutes from now, partly cloudy sky, a few isolated rain areas developing, mainly the farther north you go. So the closer you live to the mountains, the better opportunity for showers and storms today. By 3 o'clock, not much, right? Just a 20% chance of storms. Those will gradually drift to the south as our steering level wind is from north to south. So some fairly slow moving showers and storms gradually drifting in toward the metro. But again, not a whole lot here, just a 20% chance of storms, and most of us will stay dry today. So here's how it breaks down for us hour by hour. At 2 o'clock for most, just a mix of sun and clouds, a very slim chance of a shower or storm. The temperature at 89. By 4 o'clock, we're at 90, a chance of storms. And by 6 o'clock, 89, just an isolated storm threat around North Georgia. For today, 89 in Gainesville, 85 in Blairsville, a little cooler up in the mountains because of the elevation, but also because of that additional chance of rain today. 91 in Rome, Carrollton, 95 LaGrange, 92 this afternoon's high in Griffin. At 7 o'clock this evening, still a chance of a few storms. The temperature at 87, mainly dry for us by 9 o'clock at 84, and 11 o'clock we are at 82 degrees. We stay in a hot, mainly dry pattern straight through tomorrow and Tuesday as well. Through Wednesday, still pretty dry for us, just 20 to 30% rain chances. But by the end of the week, weakening front starts to move in, more moisture over North Georgia, so an increasing storm chance as the week goes on. For the next few days, though, rain chance about 20% for today and tomorrow. 91 the high today, up to 92 for your Monday. Rain chance will bump that up just slightly on Tuesday, up to 30%, and hold it there Wednesday and Thursday with high temperatures in the lower 90s.
Freddie Freeman returned to the field as the Braves face the Cardinals under the arch in St. Louis. Channel 2's Anthony Amy has your sports highlights.
Freddie Freeman needed just one minor league rehab appearance to proclaim himself healthy and ready to return from a wrist injury that cost him 30 games. In the time he's been out, the Braves were just 13-17. Didn't arrive in St. Louis in time to start, but he actually pinch hit and flied out to left. Shelby Miller also made his return, his first start back in the city, in which he spent the first 2 years of his big league career. And nearly 46,000 on hand gave him a nice ovation. Then Miller proceeded to show his old team what it dealt away. Allowed just 2 hits through 7 in the third innings. He struck out 4, but for the 12th straight start, he left without a win. Bottom 8, Stephen Piscotty's sac fly is going to get Pete Kozma home safely. And despite recording just 2 hits in the entire game, the Cardinals were able to walk away with a 1-0 win. To Chicago, and in what could be his final start as a Philly, Cole Hamels pitched the 13th no-hitter in team history. The final out was certainly an adventure, but indeed it is the first time the Cubs have been no-hit victims at Wrigley Field in 50 years. Hamels threw 129 pitches in the 5-0 Philadelphia win. No matter the sport, the Hall of Fame speech is one of the most anticipated moments of each ceremony every year. Today will be no different, as one of the best classes to go into Cooperstown and the Baseball Hall of Fame will feature John Smoltz, Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez, and Craig Biggio. Smoltz was a broadcaster for MLB Network last year and had to take the barbs fired at him by former teammates Tom Glavine and Greg Maddux. This year, it's his turn to step to the podium, and he promises retaliation.
It's probably the easiest part of my speech. I can't wait. I got a little trick up my sleeve for Maddux. I'm hoping that I can pull that off flawlessly. As I'll say, I'll probably open up that I'm somewhere between, Forrest Gump and Dumb and Dumber, so you don't know what's coming out.
The Dream had a pair of representatives in the WNBA All-Star Game in Connecticut. Shoni Schimmel and Angel McCautry were once again starters for the East squad. Angel scored 9 points. Schimmel brought the crowd out of their seats with 6 assists. Some of them are the fancy variety. She also showed off in the open court for 2 of her 13 points. Now, if you recall, Schimmel won All-Star MVP honors last year by setting a game record with 29 points. This year, Maya Moore topped that with 30. The Lawrenceville native is this year's MVP as the West wins 117-112. In NASCAR, Carl Edwards won the pole for today's Brickyard 400. We will have highlights of that, and we'll have part 2 of my sit-down with former Georgia quarterback Aaron Murray tonight on Sports Zone Sunday. Tune in also to find out how you can win an autographed Aaron Murray mini helmet. That's tonight at 11:35.
Massive flames on the pool deck of a luxury hotel. New insight into what caused this fast-moving fire on the Vegas Strip.
Weather on.
This noon, investigators are trying to find out what sparked a massive fire that evacuated a Las Vegas hotel. You can see smoke stretch across the desert sky on Saturday. The fire started on the 14th floor pool deck of the Cosmopolitan Hotel and quickly spread because of all the fake palm trees. The fire damaged rooms but never made it inside the hotel. A new sighting of a lion-like animal is creating quite an uproar in Wisconsin. Overnight, Milwaukee police searched for a lion and a cub spotted on Saturday. A woman called 911 earlier this week after she saw a possible lion roaming the streets in a residential neighborhood. Since then, 31 calls of reported sightings came into police. The Department of Natural Resources is now investigating. Happening now, complaints about an outage even after crews told us they fixed a broken water main. We are back with an update to our top story next. And now an update on our top story at noon. All of DeKalb County is under a boil water advisory through tomorrow. DeKalb watershed officials say they fixed a 48-inch water line overnight. It broke last week on Henderson Mill Road at Evans Road. A county spokesperson says customers who constantly check their faucets for service are just slowing the buildup of water pressure. They say service should return to normal in a couple of hours. Let's get an update on your weather now from Brian.
Most of us dry right now. Most of us dry through the day. One little shower popping up right now. Got to look really close here on Storm Tracker 2 HD, just off to the west of Somerville. So up in Chattooga County, little shower out there right now. We top out in the low 90s to mid 90s in a few neighborhoods today. 95 in LaGrange, but 91 in Atlanta, at Athens at 93, 96 in Eatonton. Rain chance today at 20%. We'll keep it there for Monday. Low 90s for highs, then up just a little bit Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. A few more showers and storms around, Sophia.
All righty. Well, thank you for counting on Channel 2 Action News at noon. Remember, our news team never stops. We're constantly updating stories on WSBTV.com.
And don't forget to download our free news and weather apps for your smartphones and tablets, and join us for Channel 2 Action News at 6 tonight.